Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome all the participants, faculty members, research scholars to this webinar, Strengthen Your Mind to Communicate with Power. First of all, I thank our management to allow us to conduct such kind of webinar in this occasion. And I would like to extend my special welcome to our honorable guest, Ms. Jessie Matthew, Head of the Department, Mahindra Institute of Technology, Namakkal. Once again, I welcome you all for this grand occasion. Thank you.
Thank you, VM.
Thank you,
Now
sir.
I request our professor, Dr. C. Narayanan, Department of English, Nanamani College of Technology, to give a felicitation address.
Professor sir, Dr. Sen sir.
Professor sir. Professor sir, Dr. C. Narayanan sir.
RBI, sir unmute பண்ணுங்க நீங்க.
Sir, he is an unmute GR. Sir, okay. Okay, so let him finish his spot letter. Now I request our resource person, Ms. Jessie Matthew, ma'am, to take over the session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And am I audible, sir? Hello. Am I audible? Hello, sir.
Ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah.
Your voice is very clear.
Yeah.
You can proceed, ma'am. You can proceed.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning to everyone. I am really pleased to be here on this online platform to present a speech on communication skills. And I thank the management and faculty team of Jnanamani Educational Institutions for providing me with this wonderful opportunity. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. And before starting, let me remind you one thing. I don't want this to be a lecture session. Rather, I want it to be an interactive session. So please be ready to do activities, participate in all the activities and support me now and then with your active participation. And let's get into the subject. Strengthen your mind to communicate with power. And first of all, I have a question to begin with. Dear participants, I want you all to answer this question. You can write the answer in the chat box. Here, I have displayed a sentence on the screen. You have only 10 seconds to answer the question. And the question is, how many F's are there in this sentence? F, the alphabet F. How many F's are there in this sentence? And your time starts now. Yeah, time up. And let's see the correct answer now. The correct answer is 6. Finished files are the result of years of scientific study combined with the experience of many years. Finished 1, files 2, of 3, again of 4, scientific 5, and here one more F 6. I wanted to tell you one thing at this time. That is, When I attended a workshop long ago, I was given this question by a trainer, and at that time I could count only 3 F's. And for sure, those who count all the 6 F's are really said to be genius, because the normal brain ignores small words like off. It's only a little thing, but it provides that the little things can make a big difference. Now, let's get into the main point. What is communication skill? Communication skill is interpersonal skill. You can express your feelings and emotions even without words. Even through gestures, we can communicate. Language is a tool for communication. Language and communication skill go hand in hand, and without the language, we cannot improvise the communication skills. It's a dynamic process. It changes according to the situations. We have to change our views and ideas according to the ideas and nature of the listeners. So we can say communication is not static, it's dynamic, it's changing. Communication skill is the ability to express one's views, opinions, messages, and expressions to another person in an effective manner. So we can categorize the communication into 2 types: verbal and non-verbal communication. In verbal, we have oral and written communication in which we use words, and non-verbal communication is the communication in which we use sign language or gestures and body language. So we have seen that communication skills and language both are correlated each other. Now the question arises, why we need English language? We can communicate in any language. And I told you, even without language, we can communicate each other by using signs and gestures. And why should we learn English? What is the importance of English language? Because English is the universal language and it is used by the people all around the world. It has its own weightage. And you all know that if you want to get success in life, we should achieve a very good communication skill in English. It's the golden key to success. You know, you can be successful when you have proficiency in the English language. Language is the tool, and obviously you cannot survive with only your language. If you are a computer professional or some other professional, you should have the technical knowledge also for sure. You have to get your subject proficiency along with the language proficiency. But the fact is that people of the organization where you are working will definitely consider you as an asset if you have good language proficiency. It also adds value to your life and it helps you to grab respect in the society. It boosts up your confidence level and it definitely brings success into your career. While talking about the language skills, we have mainly 4 skills. They are listening, speaking, reading, and writing skill. Now, before entering to the next session, I would like to ask you a question. You can just type the answers in the chat box. This is not a question. You can express your opinion. The question is, among these 4 skills, which skills do you find it difficult to attain? You can tell your opinion. Already I said you, this is not a question. You can express your own idea. Which skill you find it difficult? I think most of us think that the most difficult skill is speaking skill, where we all find it difficult to speak English. But if you ask me this question to me, I will tell you that the most difficult skill is the listening skill. Listening is the basic step for learning a language. When we learn our native language, we usually learn to listen first, then to speak, then to read, and finally to write. This is the order of learning a language. But the problem with English language is we learn English language not in this correct order. We first started writing, then reading, and finally speaking. We forget completely about listening. The basic and essential thing we need for learning a language is the willingness to listen. I'm talking about listening, not hearing. Hearing is something different from listening. You know, while traveling in a bus, we can listen to music, and at the same time, we hear so many noises like driver making horns, conductor asking tickets, and also the horrible noise of the engine. All the noises can be heard, but listening is the process that needs the presence of mind. Again, I have an important question to you. Why do you struggle to speak English? You can now type the answers in the chat box, please. This is the question for you. Why do you struggle to speak English? What is your problem to speak English? Let me know first. Can you give the answers? Confidence, lack of confidence, inferior complexity. Yeah. Anything else? Let me come to the main points one by one. First is hesitation. We hesitate to speak because we are worried about what others would think about us. If we are not good at communicating, others may make fun of us. They may think bad of us. These all thoughts pull us backwards. The second reason is fear. Fear of what? Fear of making mistakes. If we make mistakes, what would happen? Again, others will make fun of us. It is said that 85% of human beings are afraid of public speaking. The biggest fear of a person is said to be the fear of public speaking. Here is a cartoon. It proves that in the cartoon it says that the fear of public speaking is greater than the fear of death. And the third reason is we are too much focused on grammar. If we fail to use the rules and regulations of English grammar, we fail to use it in correct place. Do not focus on grammar much. And the major thing you have to learn is not the rules, but the usage of language. Another reason is the influence of our mother tongue. Most of the people used to translate from their mother tongue. Every language has its own structure, and it's not fair to translate from the mother tongue to English language. So please don't translate. And next is anxious and timid, shyness. See, when I take for our engineering classes for our engineering buddies, if I ask them to come to the front of the class and speak something, no one will come voluntarily because they feel shy. They know English and they know how to speak, but even then they feel shy and they become nervous. So you have to take away all these negative aspects from you. And when you eradicate the fear, anxiety, nervousness, and shyness, you can improve your confidence. Believe in yourself and make your constraints into comfort zone. Then you can become the champion. And last but not the least, the major reason that stops us from speaking English is lack of vocabulary. Without knowing the words, we can't speak in the particular language. If only we know the words, we can communicate. We know what to express, but if we are not able to use the appropriate words, we get stuck up there. So to improve your vocabulary power, you can try this method. Learn a word a day. Just one word, that's enough. But ensure that you have learned it clearly in the right way. There are 3 steps in learning a word. First, you write the word and consult the dictionary for its pronunciation and meaning. Since English is a funny language and also a language of ambiguity, that is a language of confusion, you have to know the correct pronunciation and the correct meaning as per the context. For this, a dictionary can help you. And while finding out the meanings, learn a few words similar to its meaning. That is synonym. A word can have various meanings according to the context. Learn the proper meanings as per the context. Then the third step is to make a sentence. Learn the word and start using the word in your own sentence. By doing this as a regular practice, you can definitely improve your vocabulary power. Here I have shown a word for as example, procrastination. So pronunciation is procrastination and the meaning is act of putting off, delaying, keeping it for some other day. And making a sentence using the word, they don't procrastinate, but they practice the do it now habit. So in this way, you can learn a word a day. Now let's discuss the barriers of language skills. What are the obstacles we face while learning a language? The first obstacle is that we do not spend time. Once you decided to improve your communication skills, you must spend a little time for practicing it. Practice, practice, practice. Practicing is the only way to make our language perfect. And next is, we all are passive learners. That means we learn something, write it somewhere and keep it aside. But we do not use the learned things in our day-to-day life. That is called passive learning. We should become active learners. That is, we should start using the learned nuances of language in our daily life. This practice will make our language sweet and beautiful. Next, we should review what we learn. Reviewing is a good language practice for developing our speaking skills and writing skills as well. And the major reason that stops us from speaking English is that we often focus on mistakes. It creates fear and anxiety in us when we speak English. Remember, your best teacher is your last mistakes. So let the mistake come. Be bold to accept the mistakes and correct them. Another true barrier of language learning is that we do not have a partner to speak. Everyone, everywhere around us speaks our mother tongue, and we don't get a chance to speak English often. When my students say about this problem, I say the answer in just 2 words: mirror practice. Most of the great personalities like film actors, politicians, public speakers, and even businessmen, they use this technique. Everybody can get the benefits of practicing in front of mirror. Mirror practice helps to develop your confidence. When you practice in front of the mirror every day, you know how you look, how you talk, and what facial expressions you have while talking. When your mind is free and you know what you are going to do, you will automatically become confident. It develops your personality. Mirrors help to see what you look like. You can sit or stand in front of the mirror and observe your body language. Nobody knows how you want to look better than you. So be your own guide. Observe your posture, your gesture, your dressing, and everything else. Then make the changes accordingly. Start with 3 minutes of mirror practice a day. For 1 week, take 3 minutes every day and stand in front of the mirror. Look at yourself and smile. Now start speaking. Speak whatever your heart says. You can speak about yourself, your loved ones, your colleagues, your life, or anything else. After a week, increase the time you spend in front of the mirror. Make it 5 minutes. Increase the time every week. The more time you spend in front of the mirror, the better you become. And we have already discussed the barriers of improving our communication skills. We can overcome all these barriers only when we attain confidence. Already you have said confidence is the problem. Lack of confidence is the problem in speaking English. So what is this confidence? Confidence is a combination of three different types of self-qualities: self-efficacy, self-responsibility, and self-direction. And we can say communication is one of the responsibilities. Concentration is the base of communication skills. When you keep your mind open, then you learn more. Keep ears open and mind open when you listen to someone. Psychologists say about listening that we should keep both the ears open. You know why? You have to receive the meaning through the ear. Through one ear, you have to receive the meaning, and through the other ear, you have to receive the feeling. And another thing is, communication is expressing ideas and views. Don't try to impress someone with words, but communicate to express your ideas. Communication makes the human relationships. If my communication is good, my relationship is healthy. If I am very clear in my communication, I can maintain my relationship smooth and healthy. If I am not communicating clearly, the relationship can be broken. So the communication can make or break a relationship. If the communication is good, you can make a relationship, and if the communication is not good, you can break a relationship. And before getting into the details of communication, I would like all of you should participate in this small activity. Some of you must have known about this activity. I wish all of you try this for a while. It's a read and do test. You can take a sheet of paper and pen or pencil to do this activity. Please take a paper on pen or pencil, something to do the activity. Are you ready? Hope you all are ready. Here I have displayed a list of instructions on the screen. You can read the instructions carefully for doing the activity. You have only 2 minutes of time. Read the instructions carefully and do the activity. And your time starts now. Please hurry up. Only 30 seconds left over. Please hurry up. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time up. Now you can put down your pen and notebooks. Now, can I know how many of you have completed all the 15 instructions within 2 minutes? Within 2 minutes, how many of you have completed all the 15 instructions? please type in the chat box how many instructions have you completed. 11, 2, very good, 20. There are only 15 instructions, not 20. First 2, very good. So now we will come to the facts, okay? Here in the first instruction, it tells that read all that follows before doing anything. So you have to read all the instructions before starting your work. Finally, at the instruction number 15, it tells that do only the things given in the sentences numbered 1 and 2. So you have to do only the instructions 1 and 2. You have to write only your name on the top right corner of the paper. You should not do any other instructions. This activity shows how important the instruction is. Concentration is very important, not only in listening, but also in reading. Now we will enter into the major components of the communication system. This might be known to many of you. Some might have studied about this. And if you know already, you can just have a revision on this, okay? In a communication system, first there must be a source from which a communication originates. The source is the center. Now I am the source. I am speaking to you or sending a message through a channel to all of you, and you are the receivers. That is the simple process. There is a center. Something is sent to the receiver through a proper channel. This is what happens in a communication system. Of course, we have to use a channel. That is how to put a message across. The channel can be verbal or non-verbal. In general, we can say that to communicate effectively, we need to act as a sender. Sometimes we need to act as a receiver in order to send a message or to receive the message in the right way. Now we are going to see the functions of each part of the communication system. First, as a sender, what we need to do to improve ourselves. First of all, we should understand that as a sender, we have to think fast and clearly. Our thoughts should be clear. First of all, I should think what should I say and why I am speaking. The clear thoughts should come to our mind fast. When we could think fast and clearly, the halfway of communication is done. As a center, we should think about the audience. Who are going to listen to us? To whom are we going to speak? Communication is a serious business. We should talk only sense, not nonsense. Before we start communicating, we should know who our audience are. We have to decide clearly in which level of communication we should follow. For example, when I am asked to give a speech to a certain audience, first I must know what type of audience should I address, whether they are school children, whether they are college students, or whether they are faculty members. According to the nature and level of the audience, I have to prepare the speech. If I'm talking to a particular group of people, for example, advocates, I can use their jargons. But if I'm talking to common people, I cannot use those jargons. There, I have to use only general words. And moreover, when we put across things together, there must be a sequential order, cohesiveness. The messages must be in the proper order. Logical sequencing is very important. If there is no logical order, you may end up in a mess, or you may miscommunicate. I will share an example with you. Once I found an application form for applying for a job. There were a lot of questions that to be filled by the candidate. Coming to the educational qualification part, the first question was, have you completed your graduation? If the candidate is a graduate, he can write yes. And the second question was, have you passed 10th standard? What is the logic in it? If the person is a graduate, what is the meaning of asking him whether he has passed 10th standard? No logic. They could have put the second question at the first time and then about their degree. This is what happens when there is no logical sequence in the communication. And the most essentially, to improve our communication, we have to take feedback. Feedback is about listening actively, taking the time to analyze, and then thinking of the best possible solution to perform better. It creates a clear picture and increases transparency. It brings people together and creates a healthy communication flow. And then next comes message. That is what we are going to convey through the communication. In short, we can call it canons of communication, basic principles of communication. Mainly, we can say there are three basic principles. One is simplicity. Don't bombard the listeners with confusing words. Communication is nothing about our fancy language, but it is all about simplicity. I will tell you one example. If I say water is ubiquitous, most of the listeners may not understand. When we are presenting a technical speech, or if we are involved in technical writing, using such technical words sounds good. It's okay. But in general, if we say water is ubiquitous, it cannot be comprehended by most of the listeners. But the nature of human being is that they don't say that they don't know. Instead, they start guessing meaning or interpret of speaker or at the, on the
Speaker,
side
yeah,
of listener. So as a listener,
ma'am.
as a listener or as a speaker.
As a speaker.
As a speaker,
As a speaker, yeah.
Speaker, you plan very well. Plan it well. What the topic you are going to speak, plan it very well. And according to the plan, you can collect the things, and no need to go for so many activities. And before going to the presentation, before starting speaking, and you have to concentrate on the particular topic. Don't be elaborate. When we are going for an elaborate thing, then we are dropping some other things, and we are involving to some other extra activities. So don't go for extra activities. Only concentrate only the point and be brief. Be brief. Then we can avoid the unnecessary activities.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Actually, the question was not clear to me, and I think.
Yes, ma'am.
Hope it is clear for him.
Yeah, I hope he gets satisfied with your answer, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Shall we go for a vote of thanks, ma'am? Hello.
Any other questions, sir? Any other questions? Ramesh sir, you please ask the audience.
No, sir. No questions, sir. Okay. Now we can go for vote of thanks, sir.
Okay, sir. Next.
Okay. Now I request Mrs. C. Kirtika, Assistant Professor, Department of English in Anandamani College of Technology, to propose vote of thanks. Kirtika, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You can go again now. Yeah.
Okay, sir. I take immense pleasure in proposing vote of thanks in this occasion. First of all, I would like to thank our college management for allowing us to plan and conduct this webinar program. I especially thank our today's guest, Mr. Jesse Matthew, who accepted our invitation and gave this useful section on strengthen your mind to communicate with power. It was a very nice and useful for our students and faculty participants. Thank you, madam. I also also thank our Professor of English, Dr. C. Narayanan, and HOD of English, Mr. M. Ramesh Babu, and the coordinators of this webinar, Mr. G. Ramakrishnan and Mr. V. Manikannan, for the support throughout this event. Thank you, sir. Last but not least, I thank all the participant students, research scholars, and faculty members from various institutions. I thank you all. Thank you, one and all. Stay home. Keep learning, stay safe. We the Gnanamunians wish you to have a good future ahead. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
We are at the end of the session. Now we request the participants to fill up the feedback link. Those who have filled up the feedback link, you can leave the session now. So it will be floated in the chat box only for 5 minutes. The participants, you can fill up and you can submit the feedback link right now. VM?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Professor,
the
kindly
time is
unmute your mic.
12:15. Participants, feedback link.
Professor,
Yeah,
it
I
is
have
already
unmuted.
floated.
Floated, okay.
Yeah, already I have
Up to 12:20 or 12:25. That will be existing in the
12:20,
chat box.
Professor.
12:20.
Yeah, up to
Okay,
12:20
okay.
it will be enabled.
Okay, VM. Now you can stop the record button, VM. You can
Okay, thank you,
stop the record option. Yeah.
Okay, sir.